trainees and all the officials have circled the ring.
Yeah, this is going to get out of hand in a hurry.
It's almost like a lumberjack match. Trainees and security and referees have circled the ring, and the entire ringside area. Falls in this one will count anywhere in the building.
And don't get it twisted, these guys are out here to keep the fans from getting bowled over by these two. This is personal as can be.
And poor Joey Hogan, rookie referee Joey Hogan has been assigned to keep law and order in this one.
I don't envy this kid.
One fall to a finish, and the fall can occur anywhere in the building.
And this thing has gotten so heated in the last few months. It's almost like Jesse Ortega has taken it upon himself. Like he hates Jason Miller, like it's his job to take him out. And we got Miller reverses Ortega and sends him out of the ring, and it looks like this is going to get out of hand early. But Jason Miller taking his time. You know what they say, only fools rush in, and he's not coming after him.
That's a great point. You know, we talked about the inexperience of Golphin and Givens costing them in that last match. Miller only got a handful of years in the sport, less than 5 if I remember correctly,
yeah.
But it was a good move. He didn't rush out after him. He's not, so far, he's not being too headstrong in this thing. Tried to take him over and got nothing, did Ortega.
Ortega, he's one a very deceptive guy. He's, you know, a big guy, but he does some very lucha-esque maneuvers like that. And the thing about Miller, yeah, he's only got about 3-4 years in the sport, but he's been through the battles already. This guy, he's had a trial by fire his first few years. But he's going to have a trial by El Fuego tonight.
Ah, I see what you did there.
Spanish for fire.
See what you did there.
And Jesse Ortega's a guy, he stays pissed off like every day.
Oh, dropped him on the edge of the apron.
And that's not going to improve his mood whatsoever.
I tell you, we talk a lot about the great fans that support us here at the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium.
Oh!
Woo! As we produce between 24 and 32 live events per year. Is there anyone in CWF Mid-Atlantic more hated than Jesse Ortega?
No, that's by the fans and a lot of guys in the locker room.
Big chop!
I mean, just going to let people know, Jesse Ortega for years has been one of the trainers at the dojo, and the trainees don't even like him.
From time to time. It's sporadic, because every so often, literally, there's just so many complaints. He is so hard-headed, aggressive, violent, destructive, that every now and then they got to pull Ortega back from training for a couple of months, because literally, this is a miserable guy who doesn't want anyone else to be happy in the business, in the sport. He's that miserable, he's that unhappy, and his goal is to make everyone that unhappy.
I mean, you nailed it right there. I mean, this is a guy, I mean, he's got a lot to teach, he's got a lot to offer, but his attitude, his temper gets in the way so much, it never comes out that way.
Oh boy.
I mean, this is a guy that's had beef with almost everybody on the roster at some point.
Security, officials, and trainees are going to need to keep everybody safe. It looks like we're going into the bleachers, Cecil.
They're taking it to the streets already. We're only a couple minutes in. And I get, you know, trust me, going to those bleachers and falling on those chairs is very, very painful.
And dangerous. The ring, it hurts, but it's designed for wrestling. It's made for that purpose. Bleachers and chairs on the floor are not designed to fall on.
Now, if you recall, back in the summer, I had that big 6-man tornado match with Fatback, and we went to bleachers, and that was one of the most painful experiences of my career.
Worse than the Love Dude?
Mentally painful was that one.
My goal is to drop that in every match we do.
Thank you. You might get me to leave again.
That's all I've ever wanted. Both men now down in the bleachers. Everyone.
Man, I got to stand up. I can't really see what's going on out there.
Everyone eyeing the action here.
And it looks like Ortega's trying to bring this back in the ring. Or maybe not.
That's going to be an interesting story that we're going to watch develop as this match goes on, is if one wrestler wants to keep it in the ring more than the other one.
If anything, well, kind of logic would dictate that Ortega would. He's more of a wrestler, but he's got so much hate for Jason Miller, and I don't know where it comes from.
Also more of a veteran.
Yeah.
You can attest that you spend so much time in this sport, those aches and bumps and bruises, those aches and pains, they wear on you. They are taking it. You cannot win the match out there. The fall has to happen in the building.
Stay away from my car. That thing's not paid for. But yeah, you're right. You know, you spend so much time in the ring and you want to stay with what you know. I mean, out here in the bleachers and out by my car is foreign territory.
We're back in, and Miller firing up on Jesse Ortega. El Fuego on the outside. Miller, a big tough kid, and he just put a boot in Ortega's face.
And Jason Miller, he's a big kid. This guy hits hard. I can't call him a kid. He's the same age as me. He just hasn't been in the business as long. He started late, but he's got all the fire of a youngster, that's for sure.
These two have had heat, as you put it, for a number of months now. Ortega injured Miller's shoulder several months ago with the Fujiwara armbar. Miller came right back 4 weeks later and dropped Ortega's shoulder first with that double arm DDT, sent Ortega to the hospital.
And didn't they have a run-in at the Rumble as well?
Absolutely. It was at the Rumble back in October, our very first pay-per-view, that these two caused each other's elimination and then brawled all over the building. Last month at Ultimate Survivor, they were on opposite sides of a tag team elimination match.
Oh my goodness.
And both men were counted out. And basically, their tendency to brawl all over ringside is what prompted Commissioner Corey Edsel to make him a deal. If they would keep their distance until Battlecade, he would sanction the Falls Count Anywhere match that cannot be stopped by officials. One fall to a finish, and that's where we're at here with Jesse Ortega and Jason Miller.
Absolutely. And this isn't the first time we've seen some hellacious battles to end issues at Battlecade.
Oh, undeniably not.
I mean, we got some guys that I'm probably not supposed to mention, you know, that have just tried to kill each other.
We've seen some wars for not only the television title, but also the heavyweight championship. How about Walter Eaton and Rick Converse a few years ago? How about Rick Converse and the Mad Trucker Gary Stevens?
Oh, one of the great main events in Battlecade history, in the cage.
Oh, Fujiwara armbar! Match can end. The match can end in the ring just as easily as it can end on the floor. Joey Hogan is right there. That Fujiwara armbar tries to compromise that bad shoulder.
And that arm's not supposed to have been that way.
Like I said, it was a few months ago that he injured the shoulder of Miller with the Fujiwara armbar. Miller dropped Ortega on his shoulder and sent him to the hospital, and now Ortega is going to look to send Miller to the hospital with that Fujiwara armbar. Look at him cranking on the arm of Jason Miller.
And Ortega's got a good 240 pounds he can crank back on that shoulder with.
In the ropes, he's going to break it.
What, does the rope break count here?
I think referee Joey Hogan is making that judgment call. I'm not sure if it's going to.
I mean, that's a disadvantage of having such an inexperienced ref in this.
I don't think he's going to allow it. The falls count anywhere, even in the ropes. But Ortega's going to solve the problem on his own and hooks both arms.
Going for a pin, it looks like.
Backs him in that crucifix, only got two.
Good veteran move there, adjusted the move.
Oh, he just puts both feet awkwardly in the chest and the sternum of Miller.
And Miller, he's in a very bad way right now. And Ortega looks like he's got something in mind. Either that or he's just taking a breather. And Ortega, he knows he's got a few moments so he can draw with these fans.
Once again, maybe the least popular person in CWF Mid-Atlantic is Jesse Ortega.
I think I've got more friends than this guy.
You probably do. Oh, double arm into the floor. Oh, excuse me, single arm, and Ortega cranks on that arm again.
Out here on the floor, right in front of some of our very lovely fans.
Very lovely.
We got a good seat here, Brad.
Ortega is grating on the arms and the face of Miller.
And he's trying to break both arms, it looks like.
Referee Joey Hogan trying to maintain order. You know, there's really not much he can do.
And unfortunately, I think he's a little bit intimidated by Jesse Ortega. He got an inexperienced referee.
God, he slapped him right in the face. You can hear it in the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium. You can hear the slap echo right here on this side of the building.
And the look on Jesse Ortega's face says more than anything we could about how he feels. There's nothing but hate in that man's face.
The physicality here in this one is off the charts. I wish you were here live with us in the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium to hear the flesh crack each other here on this one. The physicality in this one is absolutely off the page.
We go to the post. Oh, my God. And Ortega's really, really taken over in this thing. It's going exactly the way he wants. It looks like we got a hammerlock slam on the floor. That shoulder's got to be separated by now. And a a lot of Jason Miller's offense, he needs both arms to execute a lot of his favorite maneuvers. And Ortega being very, very deliberate now. Oh my God.
I hope that the video on demand download is doing justice the sounds that are bouncing around in the walls here in the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium, because Ortega is really just hauling off and pounding Miller here.
Absolutely. You can see concern in a lot of these fans' faces. I mean, Jason Miller, a very popular, very likable guy, and the guy's just getting mauled out here.
Concern is exactly the word. And Ortega's on that arm again.
We got a cross arm breaker.
Expired, 5 minutes remaining.
Got a Juja Gatami, if you will.
Is there a more ruthless wrestler on the roster than Ortega? I'll pose that question to you, Cecil Scott.
I will undeniably say no. I mean, even at training sessions, this guy does not take a back step.
And we're going back to the floor. Oh, he went hard too. He landed awkwardly on the floor. And let me tell you something, you can attest to it. That 1-inch blue mat does not help very much against that cold, hard concrete.
Oh, not at all. I mean, that's there mostly for athletic, commission regulations. But
Ortega is gonna fly. No, he just wants to taunt the crowd. That does make more sense.
It does. And we got children running out of the way of Jesse Ortega.
It looks like we're going to get a little crazy here. I'm prepared to go wireless if need be to follow the action.
Well, we're never going to survive unless we get a little crazy.
Miller sent him into the post, mounting a little bit of an offense here.
And I see the security and the trainees kind of corralling these two, and they're going in the lobby.
At the concession stand, heads up, heads up.
Yeah, they're over near concessions, and there are a lot of kids over there, too. This is a perilous situation.
Oh, he just ran him over! Ortega just got run over by one of the fans in a wheelchair.
That's not just a fan. I think that was Jason Miller's dad.
Miller is using everything in the building to his advantage here. Oh, right hook. Looks like we're going in the lobby. We're going in the lobby. I'm going to go wireless, Cecil.
Time to go mobile. And Brad Stutt's heading into the lobby right now to call this thing. I can't see a thing. He's got a little technical difficulty, but I imagine these two are just murdering each other out there in the lobby.
Fight on the floor here in the lobby. 2 count, excuse me. They are right on the CWF Mid-Atlantic emblem in the lobby. Security trainees are in position. Miller crashed hard on the concrete. And Ortega looks like he's looking for weapons. I'm glad I'm behind Corey.
And a lot of the fans here are just as blind as I am.
Everything is legal. Kick to the kidneys. Ortega was going for that kill shot reminiscent of months ago. Duck. DDT on the floor. You could hear it. DDT on the floor. Right on the CWF emblem. The skull cracked the concrete. And Miller has won it. Jason Miller wins a war at Battlecade XIII.
Brad Stutt's making his way back
And
over
the
here.
winner by pinfall, 14 minutes, 1 second, Jason Miller.
this match on Jason Miller. It took everything he had. He showed an amazing heart.
Unbelievable.
I mean, Jason Miller, you can tell this guy's been through a war.
That's a first for me, personally.
The first mobile commentary in CWF Mid-Atlantic history.
We should get combat pay if it's going to be like this.
Hazard pay at least.